Alright, it's time for another math easy solution. Today we're just going to discuss basic principles of equation of a line. So and you can see this is basically the simplest form of y equals m times x plus b. Let me just fix this. Okay, yeah, so y equals mx plus b. So basically m equals rise over run of an equation. Let's say we have and b is equal to the y-intercept. So let's say we have a line. A line is basically defined by this, meaning the slope is constant. Or this is slope. Let's just draw this. Okay, this is x. This is y. Let's say we have a random curve like this. I'll just fix that better. Let's say we have it like this. It pretends a straight line, and then this is, let's say this y-intercept is 2. This is 2. Let's say over here is, let's say this is 8. And this value actually, let's say it's 18. So, and then if you were to get this point, this one, if you put it, this is just basically 8 and 18. This is the x, that's the y. And this one here is just 0 and 2, and that's the x, and that's the y of this. So if you were just trying to get this equation, we're going to try to find the equation. Say find y of x. Alright? So basically, we don't know that. Well, you could find this later. You could either just we'll use once we define this, we'll find what that is. So let's say, let's call this x1, y1. Okay, so what we could do here is, so basically we know that the m is rise over run, so we'll get that first. So we'll get m is equal to rise over run. So at any point, this is basically what it is. M, and make this 1. So what we will do is, so that's basically the slope. So what we have to do is find the rise of this. Let's say from here to here. This could be the run. This could be the rise. And you can see that the difference between this length is just rise is just going to be 18 minus this 2, which equals 16. So we could write it here. So rise minus 2 equals, well, this is 16 over, and this is run. Run is basically this minus 0. 8 minus 0, that's the distance from here to here. So basically you just make a triangle at any 2 points. And then this is just 8. So right here, 8 minus 0, so equals 8. 16 over 8, this is just 2. So your slope is 2. And so then this would be 2, so this just means for every 1 step run you rise 2, and then you'll just, if we put in this equation, so now we have y equals 2x plus, well, we know the b is a y-intercept, so that's just 2, so that's just going to be 2. Now if we want to solve for this, this is, we know that y in this case is 0, so this is just going to be x and 0. So we'll put y 0, y equals 0, or call this y1. Let's go y1 equals 0. Then we're going to get, which equals to 2 times x plus 2. If you take it to the other side, we'll have negative 2 equals 2x, and then the 2's simplified become x equals negative 1, and this point would just be negative 1 and 0. So basically this is just a simple explanation of what rise, well, basically what a line is, the equation of a line. And then if you want to just drag this in here, let's say we'll just graph random curve. Let's say graph y equals, let's say 2 times x plus 2. And then so as you can see, this is, yeah, so as you can see, here's this Google graphing calculator. And you could see that this is basically what we had there is negative 1. You could zoom in more, and then drag this, zoom in vertically. So basically there's -1, and this is 2 intercept. And then it goes basically, if you were, we just make this bigger to get it this 18, and then we'll zoom in. I'm just scrolling the wheel, zoom out to 8. So this is 8 and around 18. So there you can see from there. Well, if we add, let's say, negative, let's say if m equals -2, this just means you go down every time. So now it's the same thing, but now notice how it's inversed here. So instead of -1, it's 1, and this is still 2 again, as you can see from there. And then yeah, you could basically play around with this. If this was, let's say, 8, so you got another equation of a line. Let's go with positive. Yeah, so or you could just go y equals x, and that's every single value the same is gonna cross it. If there's no b, then you're just gonna have directly through the 0, 0 axis, or the 0, 0 point. So if we have, let's say, 16, this just becomes, or 17, this just becomes more steep. So as you can see, there's 100 there and whatnot. Okay, let's go 1600. As you can see, 1000. That's just really, really steep. That's all it is. If we were to, say, zoom in this way, yeah, zoom in, you can see that it's just, that's all it is. It's just really steep. Or you can go, let's go 1 divided by 16x. So now it's really, really well flat. Alright, well, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Tune in for another Math Easy solution.